So I've been doing tutoring for over a decade now, and I just realized that aside from the story that I keep repeating about being lowballed, there were other stories where I learned other business lessons that I otherwise wouldn't have learned at my day job. It's nice to have these experiences. Let's work backward in time. So I recently also tutored another kid, and I got a decent price, but they had haggled a little bit. I started at 70, and they haggled it down to 50. And later on, I was just out of curiosity. I had the family's name, and I started Googling their name and just doing random background checks. And I discovered that the family, they had owned their house outright. There was no mortgage on it. I know I probably overstepped my boundaries looking up stuff like that. I also noticed a few things that suggested they were a little bit more well off than they had portrayed themselves to be when they were haggling. And it upsetted me so much, I stopped tutoring that kid. I just told them I was busy, and that was the end of that. And it was a loss. I mean, I was still making a lot of money tutoring them at $50. I just got angry, that's all. It probably started because I snooped around a little bit too much. And, part of the problem with anger, aside from me being angry, is that it affects my tutoring performance. If I feel I'm being lowballed, or I feel the family's being dishonest with me, or I feel I could be making more, even when it's a perfectly healthy job to be doing, even when I'm making perfectly healthy money, it starts to eat at my performance, and then it makes it harder for me to negotiate more like how I wanted to, and it becomes a downward spiral. I decided to step out of it before it got that far. That's part of the reason why I quit. But then I realized the reason that it went that far is because I kind of snooped around too much. That was my mistake. 5 years ago, or actually 6 years ago, I was also responding to a tutoring ad on Craigslist, and the kid's mother wanted some references, and I gave her one of my ex-girlfriends, which I had tutored kind of informally, and she gave a bad reference. It turned out, I later found out that she just figured I was a little bit overworked. I was working on my PhD. I was also working on a problem outside of my PhD called Ramsey theory. This was a little bit of a precursor to when I started writing computer games, so they're kind of related. And she didn't want me to take on another obligation, if you will. At the time, I was also spending a lot of time searching copper coins. I guess she felt that she had already been squeezed out of my life because of all these events, and now I was taking up this tutoring. I wish she would have told me that directly. Andrew, look at yourself. We used to spend hours together every day, and now you want to work on your PhD, write games, search for copper coins. What happened to us? And now you want to do this tutoring as well? I wish she would have sat down with me instead of just telling the student whatever crap she told him. I didn't see it. The student's mother just said, "Oh, well, the girl said all these things about you. I'm sorry, or I guess we're not going to be a good fit." I don't know what happened, but apparently she later confessed to me that she felt I was overworked, and anyways, it's not a big deal. I probably really was overworked. I just wish we could have saved some face instead of having another person involved. We really didn't need to waste that person's time if it were the case that I was overworked and I really shouldn't be taking on this job, but whatever. I really should have talked to her first before just giving out her number to say give a reference. That's probably my mistake. 8 years ago, actually was it 8 years? 9 years ago maybe, I was tutoring a former classmate of mine from high school. See, I started college earlier than my peers. He didn't have much money to pay me, so instead I told him to just hook me up with some girl. He was more connected socially than I was at the time. I was getting ready to register for some PhD program. So anyways, this was in the fall semester when I was doing the tutoring. He took his final and he got a D instead of an F if I remember correctly, and he was really praising my tutoring. And the next Valentine's Day, so this is 2 months after the tutoring had concluded, I saw him with a girl. Well, I saw him on Facebook with pictures with a girl. And I got really excited because I thought he found a girl for himself. Now he can look for one for me. I was sorely disappointed. He found a girl for himself, and now he wants to spend all the time with the girl. It didn't work out the way I had expected. I guess it was just inexperience. I was 19 years old at the time. I was just not very experienced with how the world works. Now looking back, I shouldn't have tied the girl with the tutoring. I should have just done this as a friend, and the girl, if he wants to do whatever he wants to do, I'd be happy with that. If I had done it that way, I would have been happy for their relationship instead of being angry, at least. So I cursed their relationship the whole time they were together. They broke up very soon after, but it's not a very healthy way to have a friendship with somebody. Thanks for watching.